Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Bias Report for the week of August 12th, 2019. I'm your host, Paul, here with you as always to bring you the best and the worst of the week in American media bias. My apologies to anyone who was eagerly anticipating the release of the new Bias Report at 7 a.m. this morning, when it usually comes out, but my previous recording I did was completely unusable. I don't know what was going on with my computer. Anyway, I got very upset and scratched it, and instead of re-recording it, decided to drink beer. So today, I am re-recording it. So once again, my apologies to anyone who was just absolutely crushed when they couldn't listen to the Bias Report first thing this morning. But anyway, got a good show for you guys. I will be right back after the break with the weekly rundown. Be right back. And we're back. And welcome to the weekly rundown. This is the segment of the show where I look at headlines from different news outlets across the World Wide Web, from the left, the right, and all other wacky areas of the spectrum, and see what those headlines tell me with absolutely zero fact-checking or context. Okay, last week we started on the left, so this week we will start on the right. From Fox News, Lara Trump, de Blasio taxing the hell out of the rich would kill the American dream. So there's nothing biased about this headline at all, am I right? Just pointing out how that radical, probably socialist de Blasio wants to end the American dream, and probably put us all into soup lines. These Dems need to learn that the rich shouldn't have to be taxed. I don't know when they'll get it. Okay, up next, from the Federalist. Quote, moderate Joe Biden tells reporter there are, quote, at least 3 genders. Moderate, huh? Sounds pretty damn radical if you ask me. Not very surprising for a guy who worked for Barack Obama. You know, legalizing gay marriage and all that. Okay, up next from PJ Media. Another splendiferous, gaff-tastic day for Joe Biden. More about Biden. It's as if they want me to think that he's completely incoherent and out of control and blundering his way through this campaign. Well, at least we can all just be thankful that we have a rock of coherence and level-headedness currently in the White House. Okay, up next from PJ Media. No, the U.S. doesn't lead the world in mass shootings. Well, that's a relief. The stupid liberal media had me worried for a minute there. So who is number 1 then? The Congo? Maybe Libya? Syria? This reminds me of a guy I knew who, when I said that Apple is a cult, the company, not the fruit, he replied with, no, Windows is a cult. It's a brilliantly thought out 3rd grade level comeback. Up next from The Blaze. Trump shares Epstein death conspiracy theory. So did all these Democrats. I see. Nobody's reporting about the Dems throwing around these dangerous ideas. It's not like Trump is, the President of the United States or anything, and should probably be held to a higher standard, but I digress. Okay, that's all from the right. Let's head over to the left side of the aisle. From CNN. Why America still can't face up to Trump's racism. Okay then, so it definitively is racism then? Cool. Thanks CNN for deciding that for me, as well as everyone else. I really do appreciate that. Up next from Alternet. Leaked draft of Trump executive order to, quote, censor the internet, denounced as unconstitutional edict. How dare he try and censor the internet? This is an outrage. I'll tell you what, if people at places like Alternet had their way, then none of these conservatives would even have the chance to spread their opinions, as all of their accounts would be banned. That'd be nice. A true utopia. Okay, up next from CNN. Ex-GOP rep calls Trump an unfit con man, says he's sorry for helping elect him. I know I post these types of stories a lot, but once again, I have a strong sense that this headline would not make its way to the front of Fox News. It's also another example of the left seemingly trying to reassure its own that everybody agrees with us, that the bad man is bad. and orange. Okay, up next from Alternet. Minnesota farmer tears up while telling CNN how Trump's, quote, very scary trade war has harmed her family. Uh-oh, Trump. Now the farmers are turning on you too. I'm sure that Alternet didn't cherry-pick one sob story to reinforce their narrative or anything like that. Okay, up next from Axis of Logic. Reflections on Trump's, quote, mental illness. Well, why not come right out and say it then? This is a news site I found, and I've got to say that they get right to the point. No dancing around the elephant in the Oval Office on this one. Clearly, he is mentally ill. Glad we got that all squared away. All right, that's all from the left and the right. On to the other category. From the Huffington Post. Colorado bear smashes through wall like Kool-Aid Man. Seriously? These outrageous, slanderous bear bias stories are painting the poor creatures as more and more cartoonish by the week. I tell you, we're on the slippery slope back down to that old ugliness that we like to forget of the Yogi Bear era. Up next from Huffington Post. Florida man takes golf cart on wild ride through Walmart. So, maybe they were out of rascals. I don't know how this makes the news, honestly. I don't know that I'd honestly be surprised at all to find this at any Walmart across the country. I've seen crazier stuff in there. Up next from UPI. Couple coordinates matching outfits every day for 68-year marriage. Okay, I don't care if they're old and cute now. That means that at some point they were 20-somethings wearing the same outfit every day. If I saw a couple like that today, my first impulse would be to smack them in the face. I'm really not sure how well I'd tolerate it. But sure, now they're old and cute. It's okay. Whatever. Up next from NPR. More flamingos are flocking to Mumbai than ever before. The reason could be the sewage. Wow, Mumbai sounds wonderful this time of year. It's funny, I haven't heard any news on the place as far back as I can remember besides this story about the sewage. It sounds like Mumbai's tourism board needs to get their game together. And also, who knew that flamingos were so disgusting? It kind of taints my view on them. And finally, from the Natural News. Sorry, climate change fanatics. Turns out Greenland's glaciers are actually growing. Well, that sure is a relief, Natural News. I'm sure glad that the overwhelming scientific consensus turned out to be wildly incorrect. Now I can sleep a little easier. All thanks to the beautiful minds over at the Natural News. Okay, that's all I've got for you today, guys. I'll be back next Friday with a brand new episode. As always, if you have any friends or family who you think might enjoy the Bias Report, tell them to check me out on Twitter at bias_report, on Facebook at The Bias Report, or at my website, thebiasreport.com. Also, if anybody has any comments, ideas for stories, or anything you want to just say hi, go ahead and send me an email at thebiasreport@mail.com. Okay, that's it. I will see you next week. Bye-bye.